Oh. Bloop. Moves this around. 1 second. Doop-a-doo. Doop-a-doo. Doop-a-doop. Okay, that's better.
Absurd. No, my rain cutter. Inazuma shines eternally.
Bum, 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 bum. Haley. Whoop. How's it going? Ow, 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 ow.
No, my sword. Rain outlines your fate.
Do, 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 do. Hold still, Jesus.
Let's light it up.
There we go. Do.
It's a miracle.
Okay, so let's see. We're going over here. Okay, there's that. And yep, stamina. It's going okay. Hope you're doing good. Yeah. Had some lunch. Watched a movie. Now I'm gonna do a little Genshining. Have you noticed that there's been like some performance issues since the update?
Conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center.
Okay, so it's not just me. That's good. Well, it's not good, but glad to know.
Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. Remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get lucky in any way, that won't be factored in as part of the test. So, let's see you in action.
Oh, so not even just new stuff. It's been flared up with some of the old stuff. And that's awesome. Solve nearby mechanism.
It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Follow the fiery boy. Oh no, wait, he's doing those. Okay. Am I just like mirroring it? No, this is something else over here.
These are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places.
There they
is
are.
up to you.
Well, there's one of them.
No, my sword. Teamwork is dreamwork. Storm the front.
Okay, that other one's over. Aw. Oops. Rolling on Eula's. No, I'm not planning on. The only thing that I was really feeling, as far as the banners goes, was getting the C1 on Bennett, which I did manage to do. So. Hang on. Probably up here. And especially with Ganyu supposedly coming up next cycle. There we go. If I'm picking an ice DPS to roll on, it would definitely be Ganyu. Bum bum bum. Okay, there we go. So now... Oh, there's another guy over here. Oh, is this the one where I gotta, like, collect multiple of them so that it fills in all of... There's, like, one on each rotation? Okay, so, like I said... You... Then you... Not quite. Okay, so this guy, then that guy. That doesn't seem right either. It's not they're just gonna be right next to each other. Okay, just different timing. Oh, okay, okay. Give this guy a little longer. A head start. Then activate this guy. There we go.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look.
Were you gonna roll on the current banners? Or are you saving still?
To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets.
I feel like I'm peeking my mic a little bit. Let's bring that down. See if that's any better.
There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have
Oh,
come to
nice.
rescue,
Congrats.
a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once.
I might have been more tempted by Albedo if I hadn't just gotten a Ningguang.
Gained a lot from all this.
So
Comparatively,
I feel like that's where I would
I'll
want to
order what
go
I can
initially
of
if I was
things
going
too
to
small
work
to
on a Geo
mention.
character.
Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Because I don't have like anyone that's using focus. Is it focus? What is it? The item? The books.
Paimon's kind of looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor.
Better geocheck on second account than Noelle. Noelle's great. She's such a sweetheart.
Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous
Look at that
potions,
Babu thirst trap go.
participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But
Need
I
more
understand
consistent
him a
shield
little
while
better
running
than you,
Eula.
Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether
She-
his alchemy
she
has
needs
transformed
shields
you into
for her,
something more sinister.
Or set up. I
No
forget.
way! Paimon would have
She
said
like
so.
she makes the
Anyway,
ice
who
swords,
knows
right?
any alchemy?
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
Bedo's procs for crystallize are too good. Yeah, he did seem like he'd be good for that. Just squishy right now. Okay, that's fair.
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they
Is this
mean.
quest line the full event, or is it going to be like
That much
the
is true.
the festival where after you
Seems like
do like a
there's nothing
preliminary
more to
quest line, then it breaks
For
off into
insurance
multiple
purposes, I'd be
branches that take over the course of weeks or
This
what,
is now a location
however long it
of
was, I
interest.
forget.
Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat. Which is what I was hoping.
Okay.
I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime.
That's a good thing I'm getting started on it now then.
Go our separate ways, Outlander. A word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone. So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that.
I think 2 days. Okay.
Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
The final experiment. I went and I did some skill leveling up. It's one of the things that I've been neglecting real bad. So I'm starting to get people caught up. Today's day was I'm gonna work on some of Dino's skills. But I got both those caught up to current cap, which I should have done a long time ago. It wasn't hard.
Centuries. But human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Tevat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
Has lore been revealed about the mark on
the
his
transition
neck?
from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition.
Or is that
Not
the
nurturing
realm of
otherworldly
theories
life,
still?
Also nurturing the world itself. It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even
No?
a
Okay.
momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to
It's
perfection,
very distinct
is necessarily
and
one
pronounced.
unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Huh? Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling her how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
With my unwieldy flower power.
Hey, let's go see Timaeus. Paimon has a favor to ask him. It'd be great if we could catch Sucrose and Albedo too, but...
Okay, still going. Oop. Yeah, he was just shy of having, like, doing the one hand over one eye, kind of bracing the arm,
Skies can do nothing to hide the brilliance
gloomy
of
look.
lightning. Divine
You lose
light,
control.
even in the absence of rain.
You just saw me.
Do you see that tree? Wait, you understand?
Thanks.
So, demonstration is not what...
How's it going? Hope you're having a good one.
Is that Albedo? Why is he leaving?
Hey!
Oh, that's the fried spam too. Happy Thanksgiving. How you doing today?
Hello, you two. It's been a long time. Were you having a really serious discussion right now or something?
Just a regular catch-up. We meet here once in a while to go through any recent developments in our research projects.
So we just missed him. Maybe we should have hollered to him. He didn't look in the best of moods just now, though. Was he upset about something? If so, he probably wouldn't have been in the mood to help out anyway.
Upset? You mean Albedo?
Yeah, he wasn't looking his usual self.
Upset. Uh-oh. I wonder if...
What are you looking at me for?
Oh, yeah, Jinx, there's a surprise in the channel points area.
It's so boring.
It's actually been there for a little while, but I've only streamed once since I put it in there.
Surely not. It's not that boring. Is it?
Nah. Anyway, Paimon wanted to ask you for a favor, Timaeus.
A favor? Well, sure. How can I help?
Well, Paimon found a bunch of super duper sweet Sincerias in the mountains the other day. But if Paimon eats them all, then they'll all be gone. So Paimon isn't ready to finish them all yet. Paimon was thinking maybe you could make a device that you put
I learned
in
from
and it
y'all
turns
and
into juice.
made the goal a little heftier.
Paimon needs.
For as much as that's gonna matter, I'm sure. Egg redeem.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid that sort of thing is a little...
Huh? Seems pretty straightforward to Paimon. Can't you do it?
Paimon, I'm afraid you've entered into the realm of the weird and wonderful with this one.
Okay. So how about you, Sucrose? Any idea?
I'm sorry. It doesn't sound like it falls within my area of expertise. I could give it a try if you really want, but I'd probably just end up giving all your precious fruits arms and legs.
Whoa, your tone is so calm, but your words are so terrifying. You'd think I'd be used to this by now.
Well, as you know, my focus is on bioalchemy. Besides, keeping things fresh forever is just not possible. If you just wanted to modify certain properties of the fruit or their seeds, on the other hand, I'd easily be able to help with that. Alchemists usually focus in on their own research areas. Take us, for example. Timaeus, Albedo, and I all have very different research foci. Paimon, your idea is very imaginative, but it's beyond Timaeus's and my ability.
Imaginative.
I don't think even Albedo can make such an incredible device. After all, alchemy is not mechanics. There is a big difference between the two.
Huh? Well, excuse Paimon for overestimating the power of alchemy.
In fact, before Albedo showed up,
Time for dinner. Have a fun stream. Thank you. Enjoy the dinner.
of course, we know better now. But even then, I have to admit, alchemy is only one of the many wondrous arts in the world. It's certainly not some kind of all-powerful magic that can simply take a substance and preserve it indefinitely. Sorry. That wasn't meant as a criticism against you personally.
Zucro, stop taking Paimon seriously.
Paimon just wanted some fruit juice. What's wrong with that?
Oh, of course, these are just Timaeus's and my subjective opinions on the matter. If you're really intent on pursuing this wondrous device, you can try your luck asking Albedo. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If he has no idea how to make one either, you'll have to give up on the idea.
He doesn't seem to be in a good mood today, though. What if he ignores us?
He won't. Albedo is not that kind of person.
Are there any of the was it the gizmos, the gadgets, whatever it is that I should make sure that I
Hey, so where is Albedo?
get? Because I don't have any right now. I have nothing in that slot.
He says otherwise. Dragonspine is where he usually goes. He seems particularly fond of that place. And somehow, the cold doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Then let's go to Dragon's Spine to find him. Come on, there's no time to lose.
What?
Plug this thing in.
Yeah.
All the lights work except for the top one.
Hmm.
The bulb is not the problem because I can, when I plug it in, it does actually, like, the bulb is lighting,
Mm.
but it's just not bright, and it's always like on a delay. So when this blinks, like, the rest of it lights up, and this thing is still like warming up,
Mhm.
and it never gets really bright. Is there anything we can do to fix it?
And so you can swap the bulb with one of the other ones. And...
Yes, and I did that, and it's the same thing. So it's not the bulb.
Not something I would be familiar with. It doesn't look like anything's burnt out or...
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Yeah, just kind of take a look at it.
Star-Snatched Cliff is known for its views.
I can't... Nothing I can think of other than... like, potentially the cables just being old, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So it didn't used to do that?
No. It all light up. That's big one. All the rest of them work fine. That one.
You're also here for Mondstadt's wine.
Can you show it to me?
Which should I choose?
Sorry, we're doing a little Christmas ornament troubleshooting.
It's a star that I've had my entire life.
It didn't say that was wrong. I was just making sure people knew that what's going on.
Would it help if it's not in the star?
Well, then I wouldn't know. Then I wouldn't be able to see it. That does not sound like a outcome that I would be very familiar with. Because I would think it either would work or it wouldn't.
Yeah, it's very weird that the and at a delay. Start pushing.
The world remains constant over the centuries. But human life is...
There's one right there. We'll see it. The only thing I can think of is cable damage. Also just turned off. Oh, like. Because it basically seems like it's not getting enough voltage, which or current, but since lights are basically hooked up in parallel, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I was like, the whole.
Yeah. Not that I can think of. I mean, you could. Yeah, it's not something that I have the knowledge in. Because like I could try like um figuring out what wires that they used and like hacking it apart and trying to replace the wires, but it's not gonna look great and it's more of a hazard because that's me hacking into it and it's already a tight package.
Like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water.
Okay, so let's see.
Thank you for looking.
Sorry, I failed you. Like always.
You looked at. Right. Now it's up to me.
Let's see. Don't need anything equipped though. Eating some goulash would probably help in dragon spine. Okay. I can usually manage the cold okay. Alright, so today is, let's see, Sarah weapon, Diona skills. Diona skills, aside from auto attack, are maxed out, and I don't think auto attack really matters at all. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have it, but that's like bottom of the bin priority. So then next up would be getting her to 70. So we get the talent upgrade. Okay, so cryo rich is fine. Aw.
There is no escape. Rain outlines your torn to oblivion. Let me weave you a breath. Everybody stand up. No turning back.
Bum, bum, bum. Nice. This Wanderer's Troop. I mean, crit damage and attack's not bad, but I don't have anyone that I think would want to use that. Can't think of anyone.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Okay, so I need to do that, what, 2 more times? And then I might need to fuse one of those if I don't get one to drop. Alright. So then for the next 5 minutes, what else to do? 70, 70, 70, 70, 70.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl.
So I heard, so Lee, I had seen that Zhongling is good for being paired off with Hu Tao for the double pyro, and then having the Q that is a drop it and then can swap out, so that Hu Tao can do more more fire. But then I also saw that another highly recommended one is Kaya. Between the two, who would you favor? Because it's basically the same kind of concept, right? You use the Q, starts the thing is spinning around, and then you can swap out, and then rather than just doubling up fire, then you've got the what's the fire ice interaction? It's not melt, whatever it is. But then you lose the double fire for Hu Tao, Kaya, or uh, Zhangling, along with Diona and Jinkyu, obviously. Always Jinkyu. Guess I've also heard someone say Sucrose would be good. For throwing around a bunch of swirl, I guess. Pulls opponents and objects towards its location. Margin Spirit continually pulls in surrounding opponents, so then you can bundle them all up for Hu Tao damage. Oh, and she reduces their resistance, right? Additional elemental damage. Once per use. Is that like... The opponent increases all members' elemental mastery by 20% of hers. Whirl, everyone gets more elemental mastery, so that wouldn't be... I'd be having a lot of swirl, but then I wouldn't be applying... I guess I'd be applying water with the water swords. Zhangling has a higher damage ceiling, but Zhangling is best with Bennett. Kaya be fine, but you have to stack quite a bit of energy recharge on him since you mostly want his burst. Rotation would be a bit weird because of Hu Tao's sustained pyro infusion and his low skill cooldown. Hard to consistently proc melt without his burst. Gotcha. What's his energy on him? It's a 60 energy with a 15-second cooldown. And I gotta keep in mind that I won't have Raiden batterying people up. Hmm. There'd also be, in theory, Oma, but it didn't seem like a great other than getting the double fire again. And then I'm already planning on using Diona for shielding, so double shields probably overkill because you want to have a sub DPS for when Hu Tao's E is down, right?
Toodaloo.
Sucrose are good for crowd control, making it easier for Hu Tao single target, but want another Pyro on the team to swirl Pyro first and then Hu Tao's elemental skill.
Silly churl, Billy churl.
Pyro
Silly
first?
Billy Hilly
Why do you want Pyro on them first? First damage, Pyro damage, can be overridden, charge attacks, Blood Blossom, resistance to interruption. Crit rate. Pyro damage bonus. What's the benefit of having Pyro on them already? Oh, swirl decreases the resistance? Oh, that's... Oh. I thought it was something specific to Sucrose. No, not that one. Not that one. You... Can trigger swirl. Swirl deals damage, affects beings, and generates further elemental reactions. And, each other element triggers elemental reactions. Is that just kind of like an unspoken mechanic that it reduces the resistance? I mean, I guess at this point it doesn't really matter because... Okay, so it sounds like basically probably best to continue on with the plan of Hu Tao, Zhongling, Diona, and Xinkyu. I don't know why I will never remember this name. Holy shit, when did you get to Friendship 9? Oh, is that what it... Oh. This one? Gotcha. Okay. I follow now. Jingcho. It's been a very long time since I took that one Mandarin class. Okay, so then... Remind me how you work. Pulse forward, polearm delivers flame-filled kick, AoE pyro damage, defensive barrier. The skill applies pyro to himself. Damage absorption of the barrier scales off his hit points. Absorbs pyro damage more effectively. New barrier is obtained, remaining damage absorption. Existing barrier will stack. Its duration will be refreshed. Damage absorption of the barrier will not exceed a certain percentage of maximum health. Slicing at foes, roaring flames, AoE pyro damage, weaves themselves into scoring. Rory. Normal attacks will trigger fiery collapse, dealing AoE pyro damage and summoning a blazing barrier. That requires him to be on the field, so then that would make him off DPS, but he's not really intended to be a DPS. That seems a little conflicting because you want to build HP to have a good shield, but you have to also be on the field to take advantage of his ultimate. Conflicted. So this won't wind up giving me any of the, like, resistance reduction or anything like that. And if I'm not also running a swirl, then having it applied before Hu Tao hits isn't going to really make a difference. But it does have the benefit of being an ult that I can just throw up, have on, and then swap back onto. So then, I guess Bennett could be the other option. Except once you have Hu Tao and you're doing the stuff, it's easier to, like, she wants to be doing charge attacks, in which case you put dashing all over the place so she won't be staying in the attack boost. And then also the healing gets in the way if you're trying to stay at low health. Taunts nearby enemies continually deals hydro damage to nearby opponents. When it expires, explodes, dealing AoE hydro damage. Effectively, Torrent Mona can move at high speed on water. Wait, what? Oh, alternate sprint. Okay. There, this is Q. Traps opponents inside a pocket of destiny and also makes them wet. Renders weaker opponents immobile when affected by the illusion bubbles. Sustains damage, has the following effects. It's omen to the opponent, which gives a damage bonus. Also that increasing damage of the attack that causes it. Removes the bubble, dealing hydro damage. It doesn't sound like a terrible pairing. get the taunt, which means you'll be play more low, safer, more water exposure. Although then you're limited to just the water reaction. Vaporize, right? Crystallize isn't going to do a whole heck of a lot. Hmm. Run hotel with Benny involves a lot of strategy, control dashes. Also run with Bennett. Good hotel doesn't need to be low hit points. Alright. Isn't the low hit point bonus pretty substantial though? And I guess if you just take it as this is a added bonus when you are low rather than something that you're relying on. Put Noblesse on him, then get that bonus as well, rather than strictly relying on needing to stand in the field. In... Higher base attack from level and weapon, raise his attack buff, safer way not to risk death.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and
Alright. Help the character... in the AoE, they get an attack bonus based on Bennett's base attack. Use the character with Pyro, which isn't going to matter because she'd be Pyro infused herself. bum, bum. Okay. And a couple more over here, I think. Remembering right. These guys lower at least. Wording on his burst is very different than other characters' base attack means attack from level and additional attack from his weapon. That's it. Oh, really? Okay. I think that was it for that one. Let's see, it was this one closer to the ledge, I want to say. Yeah, there they are. This side only had, I think, those couple. Or maybe not. Alright. 2 batches here. This one is by the log.
Illusion shattered.
And I think that was it for this waypoint. And these were over by the wall. Remember that. Okay. Silk flowers. Wheels.
Assemble.
Those ones are on the beach area. Haven't gone flower picking in a while. Oh, the flowers probably respawn by now. I will do these flowers first since I'm already here. That one.
There is no escape. No, my sword.
Thanks, Windows. Okay. Is there any more over here? Or is it back towards the ship now? I think they're back this way. that. Is that for D&D character creation?
Rain outlines your fate. Quiver!
What just happened? Apparently I'm on a quest now. Okay.
Storm the front! Now he shall perish!
Oh.
No, my sword! Flash!
Okay. Uh, don't care. Oh, you get back here. Okay. Mental mastery, healing bonus on gladiators. Yeehaw. Okay. Let's hop over here. Alright, so we got all those are equipped. We got a hit point, attack, energy recharge, hit point. Alright, this flower is, of course, it's hit point. Energy recharge, elemental mastery. Ooh-ha. Crit damage, defense, energy recharge. That was not bad. Crit rate, hit point, hit point. Defense, elemental mastery, defense, crit rate, hit point percent. Hit point, energy recharge, attack, hit point. Point in defense. To mastery. Defense, that's trash. Recharge attack. Attack percent, hit point percent. Defense percent. Energy recharge, elemental mastery attack percent. Crit rate, energy recharge, hit point, defense with attack percent. Not bad. Of course, any levels are going to go into the defense, but you know. Hit point, energy recharge, crit rate. Energy recharge, crit rate, defense. Crit rate, defense, energy recharge. Crit damage, attack percent. Goblet on Raiden. I think it's Electro. It's not that one. Yeah, got an Electro damage. Which I could swap out for this guy at some point. Oh, it's defense. Well, so is this one, so... Yeah, I know, right? 10%. Well, this one over here's got energy recharge, yeah. But those are the only Electro percents that I have. But that one might not be bad to move into. I'll lock that one down. So yeah, Raiden has that, and then an energy recharge, sand, and crit rate circlet. Which puts her at overall 34% crit rate with an energy recharge of 225, and then an electro damage of 85. And yeah, what do I got on you right now? So we got a Noblesse flower with energy recharge and attack. Noblesse plume with crit rate energy recharge. Random energy recharge sand with crit rate points. These hydro damage Noblesse with attack, energy recharge, and defense. And then a crit damage Noblesse circlet with energy recharge, crit rate. Yeah, I'd be down to farm some more artifacts. Because I think technically I was supposed to do Noblesse on Bennett, but for some reason I thought I was supposed to do it on. Scroll right back up here for a second. Where'd it go? Xingqiu. Xingqiu. Which I guess is not terrible for him to have on, right? Um, yeah, yeah. I think that's what I think that's what I realized after the words. Severed Fate. For energy recharge, elemental burst damage by percent of energy recharge. What does energy recharge at right now? I mean, it would change drastically depending on what I did, but energy recharge is at 186 currently. So yeah, I have a lot of Severed Fates because I farmed the heck out of that for a while. So let's see what I got. We got this crit damage energy recharge, 12% energy recharge, and then crit damage and crit rate on this guy. That was a pretty good one for a while. Energy recharge, hit points, attack percent, energy recharge. Got a crit damage defense energy recharge, crit rate hit point, and a attack crit rate. An elemental mastery sand with attack and crit damage. Hit point, and elemental mastery goblets. And then circle-wise, let's see what we got. An attack percent, healing bonus, and hit point percent. Attack percent with crit rate and energy recharge, and attack percent with crit damage and hit points. So I would lose the hydro damage bonus, but I haven't leveled that one at all yet, so it's not losing me much. What do I have leveled on him? Okay, the only ones that I've leveled are actually Noblesse and hit points and flower and plume. So like that one. This guy. Why not that? None of these are great. One of these. So I could pick a flower, a feather, and circlet, and we have to our current lame duck would have to be either a goblet or sand. Sand to be elemental mastery, and we're not doing really much with elemental mastery because he's going to be setting up reactions, not causing them. Crit rate defense, energy recharge attack. So maybe this one. Just have some bonus health. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so that it was this guy. This guy. This guy. And then so that gives us the 4-piece bonus, right? One, two, three, four. Yep. So then for sand, what we want for our primary. Sand doesn't do pyro, does it? Or hydro. So like we'd be doing like attack or energy recharge. Probably energy recharge. Defense, hit point, attack. Defense, or hit point, energy recharge. Energy recharge. Energy recharge. Nothing spectacular. Or I could slap this guy in and get a big old attack boost. And a crit rate boost. Oh no, wait, Sarah's wearing that. Never mind. That's why it's level 20. I guess you could just keep wearing this one. Yeah, might as well keep wearing that, I guess. Alright, what do you look like now? 940 attack. Crit rate of 12%. Energy recharge of 200. And 5. Mantle burst is being boosted by then 50. 50%. 25% of your elemental recharge to a maximum of 75%. 200. Yeah, 50% burst damage bonus. No hydro damage bonus. Then Benny could pick up some Noblesse. Right now you're just wearing double 2-piece attack bonuses. Yeah. Oh god. Alright. Noblesse. So then he could have a crit damage circlet. Oh, he would have to. That's the only way I could get a 4-piece bonus. And then either a defense goblet, a hydro boost goblet, a geo damage goblet, or a physical damage goblet. Not great options. Hit point 4%, energy recharge 4.5%, crit damage 7%, energy recharge 4.5%. So it'll be that one. And then that. So we've got Noblesse, Bless. And then for our sands, I was running a hit point boost so that he would be more effective at healing. I feel like that's probably still with how I'm currently using him. Oh man, his hit points tanked. That's right, I was running a really heavy hit point on him. Regeneration 8.4% of health plus 914. 7. Oh wait, okay. Sorry, that was his artifact bonus health. So 17,166 times 0.085 plus 900 or so. Alright, so his heals are still ticking for like 2.3k. Pretty good. So then the other option would be to change him to attack percent. Which are all good ones are taken. Guess I'd probably just leave him like that for now. Now he might actually do some damage, actually. Kind of nice. Does that count as respawn time? Even though I was in the menu the entire time? Probably not. Oh, it does. Eat.
Shine down. Flash. Inazuma shines eternal. Ring cutter. Everybody stand up. Storm the front. Torn to oblivion.
Oops, I did not mean to ult. Oh well. Oh, nice. Alright, so now I can do that.
A cat's legs can climb even the tallest tree in all of Teyvat.
I barely have any books left. Okay. So
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water.
This looks lively. What's the occasion? Let's go and have a look.
Hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy meeting you all the way out here.
Amber? Cyrus? Halid? What's everyone doing at Dragonspine? Don't you mind the cold?
Oh, the Traveler is joining us too. Oh, great! Fantastic! Wonderful! The more the merrier.
I agree. I feel much better with the Traveler joining us. Definitely the kind of person you want to have around in a tight spot.
Oh, right! Paimon remembers most of these people are from the Adventurers Guild. Then again, it seems a certain Outrider is doing too.
Allow me to explain. The Adventurers Guild is holding winter training on Dragonspine. As you know, our members have varying levels of adventure experience. Dragonspine is an excellent place for budding adventurers to challenge themselves and improve, but it's dangerous to go alone. So, we made a plan for senior members to pair up with junior members. This way, everyone can experience training on Dragonspine together under safe and controlled circumstances.
That's how I would describe
Every
Dragonspine.
adventurer can progress together. I've been working on this grand plan for half a year now, and it's finally coming together! It's a great plan, isn't it? Hey, you are an outstanding adventurer. Surely you must be willing to join us and help out.
Is the Adventurers Guild short on experienced members?
Well, that's part of it, actually. The other reason is, when I was patrolling the perimeter of Dragonspine, I found a lost kid named Joel. I heard he lives here on the camp, so I escorted him back. I know, Joel's father went missing. I totally sympathize with how much Joel misses his family. Dragonspine is so bleak and deserted. It must have been so lonely for him here.
Aw, Amber.
Anyway, I wanted to do something to cheer Joel up, so I said I'd build a snowman with him. It's something he enjoys doing. It also gives me a chance to stay here for a while and help Cyrus out. Aw, really? Thank you. Let's go meet up with Joel then. Oh, I invited another friend of mine to join too. She should be here any second. She'll be perfect for this kind of thing. Hey, Cyrus, we've got to take off. Is that okay?
No problem. Go ahead. I still have some final checks to make, so I will call you before we depart.
If only we had
Well, since we're not doing bosses right now, or domains, might as well start trying to get used to the playstyles. Got stuff in, you got stuff in, you got stuff in, you got stuff in. Why do I have an attack boost? Or a something boost?
Hey, Joel, we're here.
Hi, everyone! I'm so happy right now! It's nice to have so many people to hang out with. Are you here to build a snowman too? Build a snowman?
Well, hello.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to do the introductions. This is Eula, the Spindrift Knight and captain of the Knights of Favonius Reconnaissance Company.
Death. Oh,
You're being
yeah, that
far too
constantly gives you a
formal.
buff, doesn't it?
The
Yeah.
child is never going to remember all that. Please, just call me Eula. Okay, Auntie Eula. You can call me Joel. Auntie Eula?
Uh-oh.
Hey, D. How's it going?
Add that to our long list of scores.
Welcome, welcome.
All right, if that's what you want to call me, go right ahead.
Whoa, just let something go for once?
Amber, what's this I hear about a snowman? I came to assist because you told me the Adventurers Guild was short-handed.
Yeah, that's something else. But look, Joel's at the age where he should be having fun, and there's nothing to play with on Dragonspine. He used to build snowmen with his dad, and since his dad's not around, we're keeping him company instead. Besides, Eula, it's gotta be more fun than taking an ice bath all by yourself. Let's combine our forces and build ourselves a huge snowman. It'll be a ton of fun.
Yep. Count Paimon in too. Paimon wants to build a snowman.
Auntie Eula, are you
Chilling, doing
too
some
easy
work
to
while also
join in?
food coming.
If so, it's
Take a day.
okay,
Yeah,
we
pretty
understand.
chill so far.
No, nothing like that. My mind was on
Had a
something else, that's
relatively
all.
low-key morning, and then we went and
Building a snowman
grabbed
with Joel,
food,
are we?
brought it back, ate it,
Sounds wonderful.
and
I'd
now
be
I'm here.
delighted to join you.
Then let's get started. First, we need to split up into teams.
And
to
then I
catch
don't know
some
what
supplies.
happened.
Joel and I will be on one team. You and Eula can be on the other team. Hey, Joel, see that huge tree over there? Wanna race me there?
Yeah, let's do it!
Wow, those two are fast. It's hard to tell which of them is having more fun. Hey,
Everything
what's up with you
ate
two?
today.
Why are you just staring at each other without saying anything?
We had for mealtime it was turkey breast, green beans, mashed taters with gravy, and then I had dinner bread. Wasn't a roll. It was like a little itty bitty loaf kind of deal. Wifey had some Brussels sprouts, and then some cranberry stuff. It was all pretty decent. I'm not like a gaga over Thanksgiving meals, but yes, it's fine.
Well, Joel probably hasn't spent much of his life in the city. He doesn't know me.
What about you? You have a
and he
good
doesn't know
what was
the
your
longest
meals
name means to the people in Mondstadt.
meal?
Right, that's why he calls you Auntie Eula.
True.
You have a big old
Besides,
smorgasbord.
I'm just another ordinary person from Mondstadt. It was a surprise, but not in a bad way at all. How very perceptive of you. Were you staring at me the whole time when everyone was talking? You shan't be getting off lightly for that. The truth is, I'm a little concerned that I might be quite inept at building snowmen. I have never built a snowman before. My upbringing was very strict, so I never had the chance when I was a child. And after I grew up, of course, it's not the sort of thing I would spend my time doing.
Oh no! Paimon's starting to feel sorry for Eula.
How do I snowman? I made a giant batch of homemade cranberry sauce last night. Include lemon, orange zest, ginger powder, cinnamon. Dinner was at aunt's. Didn't have a turkey, but a bunch of duck and Chinese Vietnamese foods and egg tarts that had boba in them. Egg tarts with boba. Huh. Was it good? It's not something I would have expected, but I've also never had boba, so...
You sound confident. All right then. Enough small talk for now. I see we have a member of the Adventurers Guild joining us.
Greetings. We have a slight problem here. We've done a head count, and it turns out that we have an odd number of participants. In other words, we still have one instructor slot left to fill.
Delicious. Excellent.
How it happened was, we originally asked Fischl to be an instructor, but she was busy with something outside of Mondstadt during this period. So, we found another adventurer to fill in for her, but they still haven't shown up yet.
Are you doing, like,
Thank
work,
goodness you are
work, or are you doing artwork?
Oh, hello. My name is Gerald. I'm a new adventurer.
In that case... Fine. But for that,
Not that
you will pay.
art isn't work, but you know what I mean.
Pay for what? Okay, I got it. I'm ready and willing to learn.
Good, good. Then everything is settled. Thank you for your help, Eula. If anybody else signs up later, I may have to ask for your help as well.
Work, work. I hope you're getting overtime. Making it work on Thanksgiving.
Why did you give the spot to Eula? Oh, okay. You're so nice. Paimon noticed Eula smiled just now. It must have meant a lot to her. To be honest, Eula really is the best candidate for an instructor. Most people would find it hard to cope on the mountain because of the sheer cold, but not her. Oh, now Paimon gets it. This must be the whole reason why Amber got Eula involved in the first place. We were supposed to find supplies, but now Eula's busy with other stuff, and, Paimon doesn't feel like going around collecting things. How do you think Amber and Joel are doing? Let's head up the mountain and see what they're up to.
Getting perks, so it's fine. No, Department doesn't really take holidays. I suppose, yeah, fraud doesn't take a holiday. At least you got to have a kick-ass meal first.
Snow.
Where am I going? Oh, just right up ahead. Okay. No. Oh yeah. Those ones. Keep forgetting to set yours or something. I think you look better with the blue.
Strange. Didn't they say they were going this way? Where the heck are they? Did we get here too late? Have they moved on already?
Okay, so let's see. It's buff, tax. No, wait. I should go into Shinsho. Set that up. Put it on Gopta. And the shield. Then go. Okay, yep.
Could they be in danger? Hurry! Let's go check it out! It's coming from that direction!
Oh god.
Pew pew!
Holy shit. That's a lot of damage.
The sound just completely stopped. How could that happen? After all the adventures we've been on, our tracking skills are honed to perfection. Aren't they? Oh, guess we underestimated whatever was behind it. But if that's the case, then what exactly are we dealing with here?
I know that voice.
Hmm? Huh?
What brings you to Dragonspine?
Oh, so it was Albedo all along!
All along? Oh, what do you mean by that?
On the way here, we kept hearing weird noises, and it felt like someone was watching us the whole time. Turns out it was just you! Honestly, you really gave us the creeps. If you're bored up here, go find something useful to do. Don't go sneaking around scaring the poop out of people!
The things you felt and heard could easily be attributed to animals, or bandits, perhaps. You should be
A lot of the
wary of
designs in the
this
game are
environment.
fairly busy.
There are all too many ways to sustain losses.
Something
if you're
about the
not
way that
careful.
this design is set up
So,
feels a
what
little
business
more
brought you here?
erratic. I don't know why. It's got a lot, like little guys, big guys, belts, things everywhere. Plus the neck.
We actually
It's
came
just got a
to look
lot
for you,
going on.
but then it turned into looking for Amber, but now we've met you, so we're back to that again.
Your thought process is rather chaotic, as is the way in which you articulate it.
Hey! How dare you! All Paimon's trying to say is that we came here to look for you!
Oh, is that so? Then it must surely be something of great importance. I'm all ears.
It looks like he's wearing the outfit that Sora would wear if Sora was brought into the Genshin Impact world.
He seems to be in a better mood than we thought, right? Does that mean Timaeus' stupidity doesn't really get to him after all? Huh. Okay, let's just forget that ever came up.
That's okay if you can't tell me about it. Just treat this as an opportunity to stroll on the mountain and enjoy the view.
So basically, the truth is we're here on adventurer duty.
You know what I mean, though?
See. So you foisted the rookie off onto Eula so that you could wander off and goof around?
We're not
He keeps a
goofing
belt
around.
close to his heart.
Eula was the right person for the job. We were just being nice. What about you then, huh? What are you doing?
Yeah, a bit more poofy in the lower areas, yeah.
For me to do some artwork recently, and I have yet to finish. I came here because it's a quiet place where I can
Kingdom
gather my thoughts,
Impact.
gather inspiration, and gather some raw materials while I'm at it.
Raw materials? For what?
Paint. Star silver can be used to make high-quality silver paint. I just ran out of my previous batch, so I'll collect some ore while I'm here.
Ore can be used to make paint?
Yes, but you have to be selective with the specimens you choose. Even with a high level of impurities, star silver still contains fine silver-colored particles, but they lack luster, which impacts the color saturation of the pigment made from them. Paint
Who
made
would
with
Sora
such
wind up
pigments is
teaming up
generally
with?
viewed as a fake or a defective product.
Interesting.
Who would be the accompany?
Paint aside, can you talk about how you find inspiration? Paimon wants to learn.
You want to learn to paint?
I'm thinking Amber.
Oh no, not for me. For the traveler. Paimon wants the traveler to learn how to paint. During our travels, we sometimes have nights where there's nothing to do. It'd sure be nice to do something memorable rather than just sit around. Painting is a great example because it can capture a moment in time.
Sora getting dragged around Liyue by Zhongli would be pretty funny, though.
Yep, why not? Once you mastered it, you can paint Paimon.
Not a bad idea. Well, Since you two would like to learn more about painting, why don't you come with me to the campsite? I have painting materials there. You can practice while I give you some guidance.
Sounds great! Oh, she'll be fine. She is a Knight of Favonius after all. Let's just forget about all that stuff for now and go with Albedo. Come on, let's go! It's so cold out. Paimon wants to get to the camp and warm up by the fire.
Or like get to Inazuma and pair him off with Ayaka, and he's constantly jealous of Donald and Goofy, trying to edge them out. Okay, so I missed what. I was ruminating on who would be who Sora would wind up getting paired with locally for the companion. For Mondstadt, it seems like it would probably have to be Amber or maybe Jean. Then for Liyue, it'd be pretty funny to have Sora being dragged around by Zhongli. And then for Inazuma, get paired off with Ayaka, and she gets intensely jealous of Donald and Goofy and tries to edge them out of the picture.
Thieves! It's gotta be!
Some things are missing.
New best friend Sora.
Wait, where's Paimon's Bora?
It's hard to say their value, but some of my alchemy notes are missing.
Alchemy notes? Would they fetch a high price?
To the uninitiated, they are merely scraps of paper. But for someone who knows what they're doing, the knowledge contained in those notes is more valuable than any treasure.
So you're saying only someone who knows alchemy would have stolen them? But the only people who come to Dragonspine are adventurers, thieves, and monsters. What use would any of them have with your notes?
I feel the same way. However, hilly trail break-ins and other such incidents are not unheard of on Dragonspine. It's difficult to draw a conclusion based solely on the evidence at hand. These appear to be...
Footprints?
fresh ones. Meaning our thief can't have made it far.
Let's chase him down! We can't let them get away!
From the entrance, the footprints go that way.
You know who else I felt like had an overly intense design? Dansleaf.
The footprints lead up there.
So they scaled the cliff. Okay, after them!
Good God.
Boba, get them! Yeah! See?
After Myoji? I don't know that one. And Fate. Love all the intensely extra characters. Well, that's fair.
No, my sword! Let me read you a verse. Rain outline.
Eat this! Can't handle your drink, huh?
Higher, higher, it's a fire!
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to do that without the ult.
Witness the power of good luck.
Or the elemental. Oh, I do not know the timing on that jump cancel. At all.
Footprints on the snow are so hard to notice. So easy to lose track completely.
That's why we have to hurry.
I'm gonna grab some water real quick. Goobon Moji summons sometime. SSRs and SPs are intensely pretty. Okay. Across everything, gotchas and whatever else. What's your all-time favorite over-the-top design then?
Miscalculated.
Da-da-da.
The footprints stop here.
Our thief must have jumped from the cliff. Get your wind glider ready. We're going down. Here, more footprints.
They're heading to the cavern. Ooh, we got you now. You sure can run, but you definitely can't hide. Let's go in.
Wait, I have an idea. I'll go in alone. Traveler, please stay here and guard the entrance. This cavern has 2 points of entry, and there are shortcuts inside. Judging from the state of the footprints, he hasn't been in there long. I should be able to reach the other side before he does.
Cut him off at both ends. Good idea.
Whoever apprehends the thief first has to notify the other party. This way we're fully covered. Still, safety comes first. We do not yet know the identity of our thief. Please take care.
We'll be fine.
Okay, see you shortly. Of course.
I wonder if Albedo found the thief. This is taking forever. Really? Huh. Maybe it just feels like a long time because Paimon hates waiting. Waiting is so boring. Why don't we find something to do to pass the time? You know, something like... something like... Oh! Look at all that star silver over there! Why don't we gather it up for Albedo? It's right next to the cavern, so we won't be going far. If anything happens outside, we can be right back here in no time. Yay! Let's get started! Huh. This stuff looks kinda lackluster.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. I was unable to catch him. He was faster than I'd imagined.
Oh, so after all that, we still don't even know who the thief was? What a waste. Still, we won't be going back completely empty-handed. We did some mining.
Mining?
Yeah, for star silver. Look, we got quite a lot. It's just like you said. Some are really bright and shiny, and others just look like regular lumps of rock with a little shiny bit here or there.
Star silver. I was merely saying what was on the front of my mind. I hadn't thought you would genuinely go and gather some.
Well, you said they can be turned into paint, so we got pretty curious. Also, if it weren't for that thief, we'd be making paint by now anyway, right? Or even painting by this point. Anyway, it's all the thief's fault for wasting our time.
Yes, it's all the thief's fault. The notes mean a lot to me. I'm not quite ready to give up the search yet. Let's keep an eye out for clues as we go.
Oh, just one thing. Do you want us to bring all this ore back, or did you want to sort through and get rid of the useless bits first? There's no point in bringing the bad ones back if it'll ruin the quality of the paint. Some of them do look pretty dull to Paimon, so it doesn't seem like those will be of any use at all.
Indeed. The sorting process is necessary. Humans are such practical creatures. They only want those things that are good. Once they have learned to distinguish between good and bad, they will never stop comparing things in their minds. Useless things should be disposed of at the outset.
Right! Saves a lot of time that way. Efficiency first. So let's start by...
What a definitely safe and stable thing to say.
Wait! Did you guys hear that? Was that a cry for help?
Okay, wait a second. I Shack 10 on Mioji. Images. There we go. Okay, yeah, that seems like a pretty good trophy husband candidate. I can see it. Alright, and then yeah, Doman. That is a lot. Wow. Like I'm having a hard time processing anything beyond that is a lot in my head. I'm like, how do I... Where did they come up with this scheme and these patterns? Those little tassel balls? Oh my god. You know what Ashia looks like? Ashia looks like should be from Bleach.
It's likely an adventure in danger. Okay.
Like an evil death god or something. Where am I going now?
really coming from around here.
Is anybody there? Help me!
Benny boy, what are you doing in there?
No way! Is that?
Is that the Traveler and Paimon? It's me, Bennett!
Whoa! It's really him! Let's get him out!
So sorry to trouble you guys again. The key should be someplace nearby. Please, help me find it.
What would I do? Let's see. What about... Like my de facto extra waifu that I come back to. Well, not. It's just it's light extra. Would be Warspite from Azur Lane. That's my go-to. Extra, really extra character. Hmm. I don't know on that one.
1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients.
Find key.
Wow! So much clutter! Oh, we're not gonna find the...
I'm sorry to trouble
Oops.
you. This is all my fault. No, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Right now, I just need to get out of here. I'm so cold. Achoo!
Oh, that was not the key. Okay.
Uh-oh! We got company!
Mind your face. Grain cutter.
You're toast! Shake it and stir. This isn't good. It's over!
No, my soul.
Oh, so they kept the key with
What the
them.
fuck?
Huh. We were searching around for nothing.
Oh, finally, I'm out. Thank you so much. If only there hadn't been rocks mixed in with the snow on the tree, it wouldn't have made me all dizzy when it fell down onto my head. And then I would have never walked into the Fatui's trap.
Bandit? In a cage? Never saw that coming.
I won't bore you with the rest of the details. Just me being unlucky again.
Hang on. What was the... Oh, shoot. I'll dredge this out of memory. Was it Noah? No. Dragon... Smaller... Sonia. Grades into... That's not right. Who the heck are you? What the fuck? Did they change the design? I swear it was this character. God, if they changed the art to that, I would be so sad. So I'm trying to find my extra character, but it looks like they changed things. I can't find the art that I'm thinking of. Or I'm thinking of an entirely different character and I'm not remembering the name right. So I haven't played Puzzle and Dragons in forever. Okay, well then how about this is not the character that I would. No, not that. This one. But then not this. God, there's so many. You. Which one? Is it this one? It's close enough. This one, copy image link. Hopefully this works. Is a high on the extra art.
Yep, taking them out was child's play. No need to thank us.
You did? That's so nice of you guys. I know they were probably just following orders.
So busy.
Still, thanks for helping me out.
So what are you doing on Dragonspine? Didn't Razor want to come with you?
Did you hear about the Adventurers Guild thing?
Oh, okay. It's
As one of their veteran adventurers, I'm here to help out the rookies. Razor's not an adventurer, and as the leader of Benny's adventure team, as well as the only actual member, I had to come on my own. But now I've been stuck here for so long, I probably missed it. Oh, I hope Cyrus doesn't get mad at me.
Oh! Wait, so that guy Gerald who got left in the lurch? He was supposed to be paired up with you? If so, sorry, Bennett, but you really did miss it. He got paired up with a different instructor instead.
What?
if you get the one that I'm thinking of, it has the big blue dragon looping in the background.
The Knights of Favonius stepped up in order to help support the event, so they ended up with more instructors than students.
Knights of Favonius? Yeah, they're definitely more reliable than me. I'm just a walking accident waiting to happen.
Right, right. Anyway, that was just the situation when we last saw them. It might have changed by now. Who knows? Maybe a whole load more rookies will have turned up to join in. Besides, after all the trouble you've gone to show up as an instructor, Paimon's sure Cyrus will put you to work.
Really?
For sure. Hey, wait a second. Where'd Albedo go?
And that one's my go-to.
alchemist from the Knights of Favonius? He's one of the instructors too?
No, he just happened to be on Dragonspine. We were just with him, but then we heard you calling for help. He must have left us at some point after that. Could he have gone back to keep looking for clues? Let's go back to the cavern and see if he's there.
I do love giant weapons. On the anime ladies.
Still no sign of Albedo. This is weird. Where has he run off?
And she double dips in that category.
This is great! Dragonspine's so fun today. There's so many people around. It's never usually like this.
This was where we heard Bennett's cry for help, right? We heard his voice and went straight over to rescue him. Then we noticed Albedo was gone. Huh. So he just didn't feel like helping us save Bennett?
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Also has one of the best Christmas holiday skins to ever exist.
I want to ask you that.
Where is it?
Didn't I tell you to stay at the cavern entrance?
I'm not really following who was waiting for who and who was looking for who, but first things first. I apologize, Albedo. I don't fully understand what's going on, but it seems like it's mostly my fault.
No. Bennett, this is not because of you. You needn't blame yourself. Traveler, clear this up for me. What was the reason that you left the cavern entrance? Did you...
There you are. Stay right there. You have a lot of explaining to do.
What? Me?
Huh? You, huh? Aren't you supposed to be helping the new guy?
Yes, that's what I would be doing, if I hadn't been interrupted by a certain someone's malicious scheming. Albedo, I saw you taking Joel towards the wasteland at the edge of Dragonspine. That place is crawling with monsters. What the devil do you think you were doing?
Whoa, wait a second. What's going on? Actually, wrong question. How much stuff is going on?
When I came to stop you from leading Joel any further, your first reaction was to throw the child down and attack me. When I fought back, you quickly fled. Care to explain?
I see. Interesting.
Interesting.
Eula, it sounds like you met an imposter. Someone who was impersonating me.
Impersonating you? To what end?
It is difficult to draw a definitive conclusion for now. But these strange incidents do seem to be connected.
Your alchemy notes were stolen. Can the Traveler and Paimon testify that the three of you were together up until you entered the cavern?
Yes, we can confirm that.
And her outfit really do just be pointing straight at her crotch.
No reason to harm the child. Whoever you met is likely to be both the thief who stole my notes and also an imposter. Of course, it's entirely natural for you to be skeptical of my story. I was separated from the Traveler and Paimon for a significant duration while we were pursuing the thief. My word alone cannot serve as a definitive account of my actions and whereabouts during that period. But the Traveler and Paimon can at least testify that I was not the individual who tore up the campsite or stole my notes.
Albedo, do you have any enemies? Could it be one of your enemies impersonating you to get revenge on you or something?
I don't have any enemies.
Christmas outfits, yeah.
And I'm not aware of having given anyone cause to exact vengeance upon me. There is insufficient evidence to assert what happened with any certainty at this point. Given how serious the situation is, I intend to investigate it myself, even if you decide not to pursue it any further. Eula, I won't discourage your ongoing suspicion of me if you can't believe my story. Though, naturally, I would hope you can afford me some credibility on account of our solidarity as fellow members of the Knights of Favonius. Traveler, Paimon, Bennett, if you are willing. I welcome you to monitor my activities beyond this point so that you can act as my witnesses. If I am what this imposter wants, he will come looking for me again eventually. Things can only become clearer from that point on.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, as preposterous as your claims sound. And I will choose to believe that an imposter went after Joel, and not you. I will keep Joel safe. If you need any support with the investigation, contact myself and Amber.
They?
You have my gratitude.
Did I see that right?
As far as Amber goes, I will...
They did. They modeled the thigh chub.
Where are you?
It actually cuts in around the belt.
Amber, we're here.
Eula! Oh, and Traveler, Paimon, Albedo, and Bennett. You're all together. Great.
The
Bennett,
thirst in this game is stellar.
Cyrus was telling me you still hadn't shown up. He was getting worried you might have run into some trouble.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble. Thanks for your concern.
Sure thing. Well, now that I found you, let's go check in with Cyrus. But before that, has something come up? How come you're all gathered here together? Need any help?
Between us, there have been a few minor incidents, but nothing I haven't already dealt with.
Oh, yeah. It's my fault, really. All because of my bad luck. But everything is fine now.
So, it's all set then? Great! Shall we head back down together? I did say I'd bring Bennett back if I saw him.
Sure, I'm ready to go.
Very well. Let's go.
And then there were 3.
Traveler, can we talk somewhere else? There's something I need to tell you.
Mikiyasha. Myoji. She gives off Raiden Shogun vibes. Sleepless night. Oh, just the black and white cutout style. That's pretty sick.
Let's go to my camp.
Weeb shit is this? This is wasting money, weeb shit. That's what it is. Back up over here. Also, hello, welcome. D, this is who I was saying. Kind of gives a little bit of similar vibes to, with the spear and kind of the coloring of the dark and the light. Is the electro god. Which one of these characters did Sunny buy me on a body pillow? I'm getting a body pillow? Oh shit. Ruined Christmas surprises. Let me swap to this team. So she has like this kind of like when she uses her abilities, it has kind of this like reality terror kind of effect, which is kind of also what kind of brought in. So she brings that out, and then it gets a little thing over her head, and then whenever I attack something, can I find something? to hit. She gets like an ethereal extra bonus attack that flashes in like rending through the dimension. Yeah. Of course, there's nothing around. Yeah, her effects are super sick looking. She's my my first big character.
My camp is somewhere that we can talk openly, without reservation. But before that...
Also, Valessa, I added emotes. You have actual emotes now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Garbage emotes handcrafted by me.
I've been absorbed in my research lately and haven't attended to the dusting. It's due for a cleaning.
I do like my head empty emote. I'm pretty happy with that one. That one and Bonk.
Yep, that should do it. Neat and tidy.
Although the glass shattering effect doesn't come through as well in the little version.
Is in order. It's time to talk.
You look really serious right now. Is this about what happened earlier?
I remember I once told you that you must have questions, and that I would answer them. I also said that, while I did not wish to deceive you, there were certain things I could not go into detail on. I am a synthetic human being. A human forged by human hand. The one who created me, my mother and teacher. Her name is Rhine-daughter, a researcher from Conria, also known as Gold.
A synthetic
Unreal.
human? What the... How the heck does that work?
Isn't that the place where the
When the pinnacle of
Abyss
attainment
mages
in
were
alchemy
from
is
originally or
combined with
whatever?
unimaginably vast learning. The apex achievement is the creation of human life.
And all the golems?
You say Conria. Do you mean...
I am indeed somewhat older than my appearance might suggest.
Yep.
But when I came into being, Conria had already been destroyed. I have no memories of it. My master raised me and taught me everything. Like her, I am a pure alchemist. I live for academic knowledge. Nationality and identity are not what ultimately define us. Traveler, what is your general feeling toward Dragonspine? You've visited numerous times now. Would you say it's a cold, eerie, and melancholy place? Rhine-daughter created two miraculous beings. One is me, and the other is the venomous dragon, Durin, who died here.
Durin? So that makes you guys... brothers?
As sons of Rhine-daughter, Durin and I are indeed inextricably linked to one another. The phenomenon of our creation defies definition within the scope of a typical human worldview. But if we may tentatively call it birth, then yes, we, by extension, are family.
Speaking of Durin, Paimon remembers that his power was quite... special.
Don't remember anything. Durin. Do we know about that? I think the 2D, 3D art style for the emotes.
That's right. Because of this, whenever strange
Was
things happen
about the
in
extent of
Dragonspine,
my
it always
artistic
makes me wonder.
abilities right there.
For instance, the feeling of being watched that you described.
Oh, the game.
as well
Okay,
as the
yeah.
sounds you heard, and the one impersonating me that Eula met.
I was a little confused. I was like, well, I mean, I guess I kind of gave them a little depth, but they're pretty much 2D.
Oh, right! Paimon knows
Streamer
his
brain.
name. When Yula and the others were here just now, the Traveler gave me a look as if to say, don't say anything. Probably because it would only make you more suspicious. So Paimon kept quiet. But Paimon noticed that you came out of the cavern not too long after going in, and you told us that you didn't manage to catch the thief. Then we heard Bennett calling for help, so we went to rescue him. But strangely, you didn't come with us. And when we got back to the cavern to go find you, suddenly you were the one looking for us.
So, it seems that you met my imposter too.
Well, if so, it was a pretty good impression. He had you down to a T. We never would have guessed. Also, after he left us, why did he go after Joel?
Perhaps Durin's power drives people to madness. But that's merely crude conjecture. Whether someone is impersonating me or there is another false me out there, this is a cursed tale, and it is not one whose weight you should have to bear. Traveler, perhaps you should return to Mondstadt
So
if you have no
that's
further
why the
business here.
trailer had ice
The
abilities.
work that lies ahead will occupy me completely. I'm afraid I will be unable to entertain you beyond this point.
I was wondering why he was throwing around ice when he's supposed to be a Geo character.
Yeah, we're Dragonspine veterans by now. If there's something really bad going on, we can't just leave you here to deal with it on your own. That wouldn't be very nice now, would it? Besides, there's no one else in Mondstadt that you can talk to about this. Sucrose and Timaeus don't know your secret. Yeah, don't push us away at a time like this.
All right. Thank you. You were intending to participate in that winter camp, if I recall correctly. That could serve as an excellent pretext for you to remain on the mountain. In that case, please join in the activities of the Adventurers Guild as planned. And be on the lookout for any leads while you're at it. If anyone sees me, or someone like me...
We'll be sure to pass the info straight on to you.
Good. Then we're agreed.
Okay, let's split up to look for clues, then meet back here at this camp in a few days' time.
Sounds good to me. But please, whatever happens, put your safety first at all times.
Fuse. Okay. Gotcha. So now we get into this. Alright, so we got... materials... Trail trophies opened in 5 days. I don't know what Alcahest does. Okay.
Wanna come over for tea?
Snowman Mark 1. During Dragonspine special training, you can obtain various snowman components. After obtaining snowman components, you can use them to make puffy snowmen in your camp. If you've completed several puffy snowmen, you'll obtain the corresponding rewards. Silver Spindle. Elemental skill damage increased by 40% of defense. Effectively triggered no more than once every 1.5 seconds and will be cleared 0.1 seconds after the elemental skill deals damage. What? Oh, it doesn't linger on you is what they're saying. Okay, sure. And then some money. Components, build the puppy snowman. Types of snowman components include snowman heads, hands, hats, eyes, noses, and scarves. You must set a snowman head first before you can set a snowman hat, snowman eyes, nose, or scarf. Yeah, makes sense. Complete several puffy snowmen in order to gain corresponding rewards during the event, and after it ends, you can even bring snowman torsos and snowman components that you have obtained into your Serenity bot. Continue to make puffy snowmen there. Oakley dokley. What about this one? Agility training, speed descent, high score. Activate the mechanism, start the speed training. Once the training has started, follow the guides, proceed down the racetrack. Blessings will sometimes appear while you race. Gale Spring blessings will enhance your character's jumping power. Iron Skin blessings allow your character to shatter the ice pillars around them. The amount of points you score for the special training is based on the amount of time consumed and the number of insignias of adventure and insignias of conquest you obtain during the training. Some insignias of adventure will be hidden in some parts of the racetrack. Pay close attention to where they are and collect them. For insignias of conquest, they will only appear at certain times. Get the timing down and grab them. Oh. Oh joy. Unlocks in 2 days, unlocks in 5 days, unlocks in 8 days. Okay, well at least the low skill score barrier is where you get the primos. That's nice. Tracker or training organized. Training progress. Oh, that's how you get puffy snowman pieces. Okay. Special combat training session prepared by the Adventurers Guild. Say you can use lures to attack a great many opponents in the scene. Lures mounted inside camps will start in a state of source cold, which will cause it to buff nearby opponents at fixed intervals and increase at the rate at which sheer cold will accumulate on your characters. You might be able to change lure's state if you can find scarlet quartz and activate certain mechanisms nearby. Oh boy. And then format 3 doesn't open for 5 more days. Okay. Gladiators. Did all my trials. Your chance begins when the active character's elemental energy is greater than or equal to 50%. They will continuously release shockwaves that deal damage to opponents. When their elemental energy reaches 100%, these shockwaves will do greater damage. Huh. Okay. So just rewarding you for stocking up on energy. Alright, well, let's try. Wait. Okay, puppy snowman. Yep, yep, yep. Already read all that. Okay, so it's like a mix and match kind of deal.
Snow.
Oh, I want this one. Primary test, supposedly right here. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Once all three mechanisms are activated, it will change the lure state to heat source, decrease the accumulation of sheer cold. Activating a challenge after switching lures to heat source mode also provides characters with the following buffs for the duration of the challenge. A certain amount of energy restored at fixed intervals. When a character lands an attack on an opponent using Scarlet Quartz, attack will unleash the quartz's energy in one go and also trigger one... Whoops. Oh, do. Ah. And then this one. All right. Oops. That was dumb. Okay. This. One of those. Ow. Stop raising me. Bum bum. Okay. That wasn't too bad. So is that the whole thing? Claim that. And then I can go to the next one. Where is... Oh, there it is. Okay. That. Another one of these over here.
Time to act.
To this one. And then... Guess that one.
Rain outlines your fate.
I'm a rock.
See? Rain cutter.
I'm the frying pan. Pew pew.
Higher, higher, by fire.
Mad about this. Too far or too long? Nope.
Body and mind. Let me read you a verse.
I'm a rock.
Boom, boom.
Rain cutter.
Nice and spicy. Eat this. Shake your hands.
God damn. Okay, so I got that and that. And then I can do... What's this one? Melting ice crystal piles, find stomach components. Alright.
With the wind.
Find and melt all the ice crystal piles. Melting certain piles will find stomach components. Will take at least one of every component type if you complete all the tracker training sessions. Okay, so this... Wait, what? Oh, because... Stop trying to be infighting with me. Okay, so... Oh, God, why? Please no? Ow. Okay. Cool. Alright, so that was that one. And this one's that one? Yep. Shit. That. That one is actually a chest. That and that. Okay. What we got up here? Hmm. What am I missing? Cool. Alright, so that's that. Man, these are a lot easier to do than the last multi-event. And got our time trial guy. Mm. Okay. We'll go back to a team that is capable of fighting, just in case. Oh god. I guess rocks are bad. Uh, okay. 32,000. Is that... I think that was good, right? Yep. All right. 2 days. 2 days. 2 days. All caught up. This is the only thing that I don't know much about, so I suppose I should probably get it. What's this other one? Oh, not open.
When the sun's out, bathe in sunlight. But when the moon's out, bathe in moonlight.
Oh, it's refinement for the sword. Okay, then yes, I want those. I'm not like crazy jazz about the sword, but don't want to not have its refinement materials.
Billy churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Ooh.
Okay, I've got 40 resin. Got an expedition reward.
Ad Astra.
Go. That. That. Okay. Then, so I don't have any more that I can do on the dailies. I've already done the bosses for the week that I have access to. So the next up would be like
Silly churl, Billy churl,
sending Hu Tao to.
hilly churl. Ooh.
I guess we could try.
Yay!
Hey, it's Kiru. I'm saying that right. Kiru. Hello. Welcome. Okay. Where was the... Is that the one? Nope, not party. Quests. That is not quests. Okay, so... How you doing? How was the rest of stream? In books... Ascension. Alright, let's give this a try with the... well, let's... top off first. We'll give the Ascension trial another go. Try it now that Hu Tao seems to be a functional team. And it was the Electro... I forget what they're called. Hypostasis. Hypostasis. Alright, so the electro. When it's low, teleports sent to the arena, forms 3 electro prisms, which can only be damaged by elemental reaction damage. Okay, so since I'm doing fire, should be okay. I just gotta make sure that I have the ability to put Hu Tao's buff on when it splits up, ideally. Otherwise, I'm in for a bad time.
No, my sword! Booba, get them! On a rock! Witness the power of... Out of the frying pan, it's... Pew pew! Fire, fire, hands on fire!
Flop. Shields are still annoying. Ow. Oh, that was stupid.
Ring cutter! Nice and spicy! Shake it and stir! Go! This isn't good! It's over!
That. Oh, ow. Okay. God.
A minor
Oh,
setback.
God. No, please. Oh.
No, my sword! Rain out! Mine's your fate. Witness the power of Gugwa. Out of the frying pan, into the fire! You're toast! Pew pew! Look at you, food down! This isn't good! Fire, fire, hands on fire!
Okay. Not too bad.
Nice and spicy. Keep it pulling.
Alright, alright, alright. Get in there. Let's top you off a little bit. There's that. And eat a boof food. Crit rate, physical damage, crit rate, and defense.
Let me read you a verse. Time to act. Know my soul.
Eat this! Can't handle your drink. Oh,
I need to have to remember to take him out when I have the healing field up, I think.
think you can bully me?
Body and mind.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
May my final stand be a monument.
Nice and spicy!
That's...
Look at you, Boozhound!
Rain outlines your fate.
1800 on the heal, okay.
Out of the frying pan!
Okay, off to nap probably, smell you later, have fun with the Genshins and their impacts. Alright, thank you! Have a good nap, or if not nap, whatever you do wind up doing. Thanks for dropping by. Good chatting with you. Okay, so that's that.
I'm here.
Don't step in the lasers. Also, don't get shot by these assholes or I'm gonna be in real pain. Whew. Oh, you...
Nice and spicy!
So I'm giving it a shot. Now that I have a way to actually deal with the split, I figured to give it at least a try. See how it goes. Ow.
Witness the power.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Yuri!
Also, I am mad about Hu Tao already feeling like she's probably stronger than Ball after all the time I put into Ball. Okay. god, ow. Oh god.
Nice and spicy. I'm a rock. Diana.
Alright. Yeah, that.
Shake it and stir.
No, my sword!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
Oh, I should have held that. Fuck. Alright, I'll just wait for the cooldown. That's fine, it's fine, it's fine. There we go. Oh, it's Nick. Hey, Nick. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Myself into a world of hurt. Yeah, why Hu Tao do so much damage? I feel like I've been spending so much time trying to get Raiden to do damage, and then I get Hu Tao in like a week.
Silly churl,
I
silly Billy, hilly churl.
mean, I guess in fairness, the time that I spent with Raiden has gotten me to the point where then I can equip Hu Tao. And then obviously your help running the domains to get what I've got so far on there. What do I have right now? Yeah, the Crimson. But Jesus. Okay, world level increase again. More treasures. Enemies are harder. Same old, same old. So now I should go back to the guild.
With the wind.
Make a hotel. Oh yeah, there's definitely room for improvement.
Add Astra at
Like another one of those guys. Okay. Because right now, it's rocking elemental mastery, whereas what does Sans give? Like energy recharge would be nice, or they have percent attack as well in there somewhere, right? Yeah, percent attack. And she's rocking the pyro damage bonus. That's fine, but it'd be nice to have like a. Oh yeah, you're right. Hit points. It's Hu Tao. You're right. You're right. You're right. And then crit damage. Crit damage is pretty alright. So yeah, like there's one big change there already. No, yeah, you were right, Nick. I totally forgot about it. Regenerates based off max hit points. Increases Hu Tao's attack based on her max hit points. Even Saints is fine if you have a decent amount of hit points. I do not have... I mean, it's more than most of my characters, but it's not spectacular. Definitely could be beefed. This has 4% hit points on it. This has 3% hit point. That's a flat hit point on this guy. So this is witches, so yeah, it'll be a hit point percent. Don't have a witch one. What is my not witch? Goblet is my non-witch currently. So then I would need to change Goblet to Witch if I was gonna... Which, I guess if we didn't go Pyro damage, we could go hit points on Goblet. It's got crit rate as a substat. I'll look at hotel builds. Setting back on. I don't know what setting that is. I know you were talking about it earlier in chat. Aim is fine with a decent amount of hit points. Neglected Hotel, even though she's C1. Boo. Turn character detail setting on. Don't, oh, okay. Check information. Eden. I mean, it's fine. I should probably go eat some dinner. I'm getting pretty hungry, and I've been on for 3 hours. It's pretty decent. And I've done the promotion, and I've wrapped up all of the event stuff for now. I do have a little bit of resin I could get rid of. You want to run something real quick before I go?
Toodaloo.
Oh, what to do? Okay, so let's see. Could either go for a piece there, because we do still have... Let's see. Wait, martial artist is... My plume was it? Wait, I'm rocking two pieces. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't have that yet. You're over to Severed Fate now, and that's been going okay. You've got okay stuff. You're on gladiators. Probably could do better than gladiators. But it's passable. And then you've got the 4-piece Maiden Beloved. I think you could use... You're lacking in, yeah, hit point. Getting more hit point on Diona is probably the next ticket, I'm guessing. Instead of an attack stand. Which would mean that either I need to get a hit point Maiden Beloved or get a Maiden Beloved Feather worth using. Get a, get a Maiden Beloved Feather, and then I could swap this over to a hit point something else. Two-piece Millilith. Do I have any Millilith? Which one was that? I don't think I have any. Nope, no tenacity. Alright, I gotta do like this thing, don't I? Wait, no. Is... Oh my god, I'm dumb. You send it, that's what it was.
Yay!
I was like, how did I do this? I did this before. Well, thank you for the follow, Baka General. Welcome. Okay. So... Which one was this one? That was the Anemo one. And then this one was... Which one was this one? I had the Millilith and... Pale Flame...
Toodaloo.
I mean, I guess I could go for either. Do you want to, like, flip a coin? I don't know.
Remember for tea?
I defer to your wisdom. I can go heal up, though.
Silly churl, Billy churl.
Well, so I was working on the Hutao team specifically just so that I could finish that domain and be able to get to the next world rank, because I was feeling like, my ball team was doing okay, in general in the world, out and about doing things, but I just had to, she was really poorly aligned for doing the Electro, hypostasis. But then now that I've got this Hutao team to be functional and have been trying it a little bit today, what the fuck? Why have I been playing ball all this time? Fucking just deletes shit.
Toodaloo.
I do still think ball is cool. It looks neat, and maybe develop later. But I suppose focusing on Hu Tao probably gonna be um, better for progression.
Toodaloo.
You've got okay stuff. You're rocking 2 blue, 3 purple. Rocking 3 purple. 3 purple. Probably something for Hu Tao then, actually. He doesn't have like any orange. And is the only one that's still rocking some blues.
Toodaloo. Silly churl, Billy churl.
So that was where over. You're already over there, aren't you? You big three, just need Ganyu to complete it. Ganyu's OP. I'm hoping for Ganyu. When that bowls around. Should I hit go, or are you doing configuration changes? Oh, right, that's right. I totally know how this works when playing with other people. Okay, so I'm guessing you want me off of this. I can bring Benny Boy and well for supporty stuff. I guess I could do. Well, it depends on who you're bringing. Okay, then I can bring Diona. And this is the back in the corner one, right? Or no, this is the kill things until they're dead from it. Oh my god, what happened to Diona? Okay.
Look at you, Boozel.
Oh my god.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. You can't run.
Yeah. Think you can bully me?
outlines your fate. Know my sword. Lights out. Let's light it up. Rain outlines your fate. Judgment.
That's pretty clean. There, got a lava walker, lava walker. We got a hit point sand. Wasn't that what I was looking for?
Know my sword.
You can't run! Everybody stand back!
Let me leave you a verse.
Can't handle your drink, huh?
I do like barely any damage on it.
Look at you, food girl. Think you can bully me? Let's go.
I just bring the utility, not the damage. Alright, and we got a elemental mastery, defense crit rate, and then an attack with nothing else fancy on it. It's a martial artist. Cool. Was that the... I think it was. So...
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly
Oops.
Billy, hilly churl. Shine down.
Currently using elemental mastery. Crit rate. Energy recharge. Defense. Crit rate and hit points. That seems like a plus. Okay, so that's Crimson Witch, this is Crimson Witch, this is Crimson Witch now. Wait, no, I'm looking at my filters. Crimson Witch, Martial Artist, Crimson Witch, martial artist. Yes. Defense, attack, defense, hit points with crit rate. Attack, defense, healing bonus. What am I currently wearing on there? Crit damage. The other would be replacing the martial artists. Elemental mastery. Electro. Hit point. Hit point percent with crit rate. But that would be dropping down the what's in there currently, pyro damage, I'm assuming.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same
Pyro
as I
damage.
remember. But where are those who share
This
that
one.
memory?
Crit damage, energy recharge. Defense. Hit point crit damage. That's pretty good. So what's your feeling on replacing the pyro damage goblet with the hit point crit rate goblet and then having the 4-piece set bonus?
Wanna come over for tea?
No. Alright. Alright, I'm not doing it. I'll be good. I'll be good. Arrow, crit damage. Alright. One day. I'm just saying, when I use my elemental skill, I'm gonna get 50% of this, which is chunking out of that. Okay, yes. Thank you. And thanks everyone for coming and hanging out. I am very hungry at this point, and I have used up all my resin. So I will call that good, and catch y'all later. Bye-bye.